Dzień dobry. Cieszę się, że jestem dziś tu. Jestem Ukraińcem i mieszkam w Kopenhadze. Mam nadzieję, że mój polski nie jest aż tak źle. Thank you. That's all that I know in Polish. So thank you for coming, and today I would like to share my story of applying agile and leadership skills in a completely different environment than we usually apply. Anyone knows what this map shows? Yeah, a lot of people know. Cool. This is air raid siren map. Ukraine is divided into 26 different regions, and if there is a risk that drone or missile will hit you, it will be red, you will get notification on your mobile phone, and you need to go to the bomb shelter. And this is a picture I took just 10 minutes ago. You can see it's Ukrainian time. So the war is going on every minute. Even if there is less news in the media, the war is full scale. And what is interesting about this presentation, it has been created during the air raid sirens, because when I was in the army, it was the most calm time for me. I could just sit in the bomb shelter. And before full-scale invasion started in February, I had applied to one of the conferences, and then I forgot, of course, about it. And they called me when I was in the army, and they asked me, "Oh, by the way, can you come?" And I said, "Probably I cannot, but I can do online, and let's change the topic." So this is how this presentation has been born. And my name is Dmytro. I'm Ukrainian. I have a small consulting company helping with organizational, agile transformation, strategy execution. And this is what I did in back February 2022. So you can see this picture I took at 4 p.m. February 23rd. We have sprint review in one of the biggest Ukrainian banks. On the sprint review, we have CEO of the bank, we have the main stakeholder in agriculture sector, and team showing what they have accomplished. And the feedback is great. Guys, what you have accomplished in cross-functional teams is more than we could get out of you in half a year when you were in functional silos. So I'm happy, I'm going home, I have a dinner, everything looks fine, I go to bed. And this is a picture which is taken one day on February 24th at 6 p.m. So we are sitting in self-made bomb shelter. On the picture you can see my daughter and beautiful leg of my wife. And this is where we spent quite a lot of time the first 10 days. And it was not a safe place to be there, in the house near the Kyiv. So from the window I could see the fighter jets fighting. Yes, we could also see the fire from the Kyiv during the night. And then Russians were close to the place where we were, and we already knew what happened in Bucha. So I decided to evacuate my family, and this is a picture of my family on the Ukrainian-Polish border. And I would like to say a big thank you to Poland. You are always in our hearts for actually ease the transfer for a lot of refugees, millions of refugees. So we were gates of freedom. For a lot of people, yes, having millions of Ukrainians in Poland and 0 refugee camps. So we really appreciate what you did. Yes. So, and then at the border, my daughter gave me a letter, and she said that I wish you to be happy, wise, and find new friends. And then she said, I hope we will see each other. Yes. So 10 years old girl at that time already knew that it's dangerous to be in Ukraine. And she said, I hope we will see each other. So at that time, I decided that I will do everything to see my daughter again. And so the family is out of country. So what to do? Party? Yeah. Finally, no, I decided to join army, and I will do a little bit of vibe transformation. So I decided to join army, and this is where what I will tell you on what I did in the army. So before that, let's look at the context where I have operated. So this is the table of different units in NATO armies. It's very similar to Ukrainian army. The lowest rank is squad, 6, 10 soldiers, lead by sergeants. And whenever you will put yourself in the situation which is unknown, you will try to find something that you know, because you need some foundation. And then I thought, oh, interesting, it's like a scrum team, yes? 7 plus minus 2, no more than 10, led by sergeant. Oh, maybe it's a scrum master, product owner, I will figure out. And then higher is a platoon where you have 3-4 squads. In my case, it was 3 squads. Oh, it's like a product area in less, yeah? Working on the same area, interesting. And then there is a company, 3-4 platoons. In my case, it was 5 platoons. Oh, it's like Agile release train. Yes, and I was a release train engineer for 5 years and having 14 teams. So I started to build this association to what I know in order to have some ground. And I had the most junior officer rank at that time because I attended some military training when I was in university. Back in the beginning of 2000s, for students, for male students, there was an option to go to military training every Friday for 2 years or go to the army after the university. Of course, everybody went to military training. And this is what I did, but it was 15 years ago. I didn't remember anything. And I became a platoon lead. So I started as a platoon lead. And it was quite chaotic back in the beginning of March 2022. And then one of higher rank officers approached me and said, Dima, you know, we are making a company and we need a company lead. Would you like to be company lead? I said, okay, interesting. How many platoons? 5, okay, 150 people. Can I think about it? And he was with a cigarette like, yeah, of course you can think about it until this cigarette is finished. So I had 30 seconds of long time to decide, and I decided, okay, it's like Agile release train. Yes, what is the difference? So a bit more of the context. So I was new in role and domain. Yeah, I had some military education, but it was long time ago. I didn't have onboarding time, so I didn't have a buddy who was follow me and say, oh, this is how we do the things. No, we had to learn on the field. I had to lead 150 armed men. They were divided geographically and distributed because it's not smart to have 150 people in one place. So I had to drive 120 km to get to each of them. Men that I haven't hired, I didn't have any interviews. Like, oh, by the way, what are your values? How you think we should approach this task? Yeah. So I got different men, and believe me, very different. I got teachers, professors, IT guys, miners, drivers, some with criminal record from age of 18 to 60. So it was different people. If you don't like someone, you cannot move or fire them. Yes. So you have to work with what you have. Also, if you don't like the job, you cannot quit. It turned out that I actually could quit from day one. I didn't know about this. And I didn't want at the beginning. And then war is happening. So this is a context where I have operated and where I will share you in this context how I try to apply what we apply on our daily basis. So the first thing that helped me is Cynefin, understanding of Cynefin framework. Anyone heard about Cynefin? Yeah, many of you. So this is a sense-making framework according to which we have 5 different environments, domains, and depending on what environment you are right now, you need to operate differently, you need to lead differently. And back in March in 2022, it was chaotic environment, it was chaos, everything was changing. And according to this domain, you don't need to make long-term plans. And when I say long-term plans, I even mean one-day plan, yeah, because everything is changing. So whenever soldiers or sergeants approached me and said, oh, Dima, what is the plan for tomorrow? Or what is in the week? We need to have some communication plan. And I said, forgot about it. Yeah. So for me, it was easy to understand that it's okay that I don't have long-term plans because I'm in chaotic domain. Yes, because things are changing. So you can just have a planning horizon of half a day. Second thing about this framework is that you know that in chaotic domains, there are no best practices, there are no good practices, there are novel practices. And it means that I applied critical eye whenever someone tried to say, oh, Dima, this is the only way how to do it. Then I thought, okay, let's look at it if it really will work now in the war environment. Because what you're saying, it has been worked before, but we don't know if it's working now. So this helped me a lot and saved a lot of time and energy. Just to give you a few examples on why I say it was a chaotic environment. So I got a message in the morning from my commander, in 30 minutes, give me 2 people that will go for explosives experts training. And this is very dangerous job. Yeah, there is a joke that these people make 2 mistakes in life. One mistake is when they choose the job, and second mistake is, when they do the mistake. So I didn't want to take this responsibility on behalf of people. So I said, okay, I called my commander and said, I do not understand how you think I can do it in 30 minutes. And he said, Dima, are you stupid? You just open the list of your stuff, you take 2 surnames, give it to me while we are talking about it. So I spent one day, I drove to different units and I talked to people and I tried to find actually the ones who will like to do it. I found 3 people. So I had the luxury problem of finding 2 out of these 3. And on these pictures you can see these people that are still working and clearing the lethal litter from our lovely neighbors. And they are really happy. Yes, so I put smiles, but they are really happy on their job, and this is a real outcome of their work on a daily basis. Another example is give me 1 person from each battery that will be a medical instructor without medical education. Deadline right now. This is what I like in the army. Deadline right now. So they think I'm like a Nostradamus. I know everything what they will ask, so I already prepare it, and I'm just waiting. That, oh, here's the message. Here you go. Yeah, so deadline right now. Again, this is very dangerous job. Medical is target number 2 on the battlefield after the commander, and at least you need to have people that don't afraid of blood. So again, I spent not right now, but half a day talking to people. I found the person that really wanted to be. And another message, we are moving away in half a day at 4 a.m. You don't know where, but be ready. Yes, so it was really chaotic, and it means that I spent a lot of time on reactive things, on firefighting, and I'm a lazy person. I would like to think on how to be better and be proactive and not be in firefighting mode. So I started to think, okay, how I can move from this to more proactive. And I started to reread some books. So this is one of my favorite books. So I asked my wife to send me. And I started to read it, turned the ship around. And you see a soldier took a joke of me. I fell asleep under this book. And whenever I ask my commanders how, because I'm not a military professional, yes, how you usually lead, etc. And all the answers were around command and control. And whenever I ask how you can command and control 150 men that are geographically distributed, I didn't get any good answers to this. And then I like this quote from William Yarmak, yes, that my thought of the day, between command and options, between command and control, there is always an option. And if you have a MacBook, you see it every day. And depending on your experience, your competence, you will have different options. I decided that my option will be to enable leadership on every level. We have 3 things, and I will describe you how I try to do these 3 things. Providing clarity, creating psychologically safe environment, and raising competence. So let's look at providing clarity. Because if I would like to enable leadership on every level, I would like them to have the context of the information so they can take the right decision. This is from Turn the Ship Around book, by the way. So we created Kanban board. So this was, we had a lot of tasks for right now, yes. And it was a chaos. We always missed deadlines. Our commanders were angry. And I created for my platoon leads a Kanban board. And we started to see all the tasks, the deadlines, and also people started to learn from each other. If some platoon did it first, they can learn from others. And you can say it's not a rocket science, but from 5 platoon leads, I had 2 IT guys, and 3 were not close to IT. So when they saw that they can drag and drop cards, they were like, oh my God. And when they see that, oh, when I change it here, it also changes here on your laptop, for them it was magic. So we started to have this Kanban board, and then my commander noticed and called me and said, Dima, what are you doing? It looks like you are getting better with right now tasks. And and I said, yeah, we are doing Kanban. I said, Kanban what? And never mind. I said, you know, we have a problem with our vacation applications in the battalion. And back at that time, every soldier could take 1 day vacation in a month. Yeah, otherwise you take work 24/7, service 24/7. And can you look at it? Yeah, let's look at it. So we look at the vacations, and we created Kanban board where you have a chain of approvals that you need to go through. And it brought transparency, and we started to have less of like the vacations that were approved when the vacation were already passed. Yes, so it helped. It was very positive from soldiers because they started to get into the vacation when they want to go to the vacation. And it was noticed on the brigade level, 3,000+ people. So they called my battalion lead, what are you doing with vacations? And he said, Dima, help the brigade. So we did one more Kanban board, Trello board, with more columns because the chain of approvals is much longer. So this aspect of providing clarity. Another aspect is providing information closer to the teams, to the squads. Unfortunately, in Ukrainian army, but also in many companies, some leaders, they think if I have information, I have the power. So they try to preserve this information, then people ask me, I feel that I have power, they are dependent on me. And I didn't want to be asked. Yes, I'm a lazy person. I don't want to be reactive. I would like to be proactive. So we thought, okay, what information is okay to share? What information is not very sensitive? What information soldiers will know anyway? Or what information they should know for sure? And on their units, we started to put different guardian squads, defense maps, etc. Yeah, again, so they have a context to take decisions. The big thing that I hate in the army is providing reports. If you are an officer, you will be asked to provide reports every day several times. How many vehicles you have, how much armor left, how many night visions you have, who has medical education. It's like every day a lot of reports you need to do. I don't know why they ask it every day. So, and it takes a lot of time to call everybody. So we created information refrigerator. Yes, it's a closed information only for platoon leads and myself, where then we put a lot of information and then we created pivot tables, and it was super fast to deliver. Short feedback loop, we work on this. We had daily stand-up twice a day, 6:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. So if your people do not want to meet every day, you can say that someone meets twice a day. When there was a difficult period, we had demo retro planning every day, 15 minutes in the evening, total 15 minutes, every day. Yeah, because it was a lot of things were changing. Every time I tried to visit every unit, each platoon, to talk face to face and see how people are feeling. I knew everyone by name, which builds trust and empathy, yes, towards every soldier and sergeant. And then I also gave my phone number and said that they call me at any time 24/7. And I did it on purpose because I wanted to know what I failed to provide to platoon leads, that they cannot get it from platoon leads but calling me. Yes, so I took it as a lesson where I failed, and then over time I got less and less calls. And the last thing on providing clarity, this is another big problem in Ukrainian army, is quite often it is what to do and not why. So again, it's old paradigm, not a new paradigm of mission command where you provide the intent and objective and then let squad or platoon to decide how to do it. But it's usually how and what, but without why. So I drove nuts of my commanders asking a lot of why. They hate me at the beginning. There are a few simple examples. One of them, take a picture of all soldiers. Very simple example. Yeah, and I asked why. Dima, are you stupid? Take the phone and take a picture of all soldiers. What are you asking? Why? Yeah, but why you need pictures? Is it for updating ID? Is it for driving license? Is it if something happened to the soldier? Is it in the newspaper? I don't know. Because I need to understand what is the background, uniform. Should they smile? Should they be serious? So, and then when they provided why and the context, yeah, then we took it from the first time. And it's not easy to take pictures when it's everybody is distributed, dirty, and yeah. And other company leads, they didn't ask this why, and they had to do it 3-4 times. So clarity, providing clarity was the first thing. Yeah, in order to enable leadership on every level, you need to give them information to take decisions. The second thing that I worked on is, okay, are they willing to take this responsibility? Because responsibility is quite big. And so I started to work on psychological safety, where you focus not on control, but focus on trust and learning. And I think all of us heard about psychological safety, but maybe not many know that this term actually came from Project Aristotle that Google did 14 years ago or something, where they look at 180 of their high-performing teams and they try to understand what are the patterns that they are making them high-performing. And they couldn't figure out for 2 years because they looked at something that they can touch, see, like level of education, diversity, online, physical presence, etc. Until they started to look at beliefs, norms, behaviors that are having these teams. And then they identified 5 factors. In one of them, the most important, without which you will not have psychological safety, a high-performing team is a psychological safety, number 1 factor. And it was not easy to explain to soldiers and sergeants all of this. So we decided, okay, with the platoon leads, but before that, it's also not easy to enable psychological safety in the army. Yes, but I think for myself and for many, many other young officers that joined the army, not professional, it was easier. Why? Because we were not biased with how to do knowledge in the army. There is a set saying, which is truth, that war started with professionals, yes, but ended with doctors, teachers. So we were not biased on how to do in the army, so we knew how it can be done in a good companies, and also we, not care about career in the army. I didn't want to be a general. Yes, it's like in turn the ship around, caring but not caring about your stuff, but not caring about consequences to yourself. So, to make it simpler for them, we said, okay, whenever something happens, whenever some bad accident happens, you are not shouting, you are not blaming, we need to talk about learnings. So, let's always focus on this question. What are the learnings we can take from the situation? And I remember I came to one unit where bad accident happened, and then sergeant started to have this conversation, what are the learnings we can take? So he asked, okay guys, so what are the learnings we can take from the situation? He looking at me like, yes, I'm asking this question. Then there is a silence, and then he says, I know what is a learning. This guy screw up. And then we need to discuss more, not only this question. And we actually started to change a lot of procedures when people started to open up, because I didn't want that if this happens in this unit, most likely it will happen in another. Yes. So we started to change a lot of procedures that some of them were still from Soviet Union time, which were super outdated. And I'm glad that I had my leader, battalion lead, was young, a person who actually allowed me to change these unofficial procedures. But for me, it was not easy, because I got a feedback, oh, Dima, you are too soft leader, you need to shout, you need to show them that they screw up, etc. So I was in this dilemma, like learnings, but from another side, it's also criminal code of Ukraine doesn't help you if you lost one bullet, not in battlefield, but in a restful place, then you can be subject for criminal jurisdiction. So it was really a dilemma for me, and I didn't know, should I be strong and mad and punish people, or focus on learnings. And then my friend, she shared after action review guide with me. And and I started to be curious, and I read about it, and actually this is like a retrospective, but in the army. And the first after action review has been done in 1971, before Scrum has been described in US Army, in 1971. And now it's a standard in NATO. So all units, all military units have to do retrospective, after action review they call it. Yeah. So if your team say, maybe we will skip retro, say no. In the army they do not skip even in the army they do not skip it. So and I started to search more, and I found this quote of General Gordon Sullivan, who was chief of staff in U.S. Army in 1990s, a very cool guy, and he said that I believe that one of the single most important innovations of the past 20 years, one of the keys to our age today, not super B technology, not super B training programs, but actually after action review. And I said, okay, probably I'm doing something right if they say this is super important. And then I found this Harvard Business Review article about OPFOR. This is elite forces in US Army. It's an opposite force that are trained Blue 4, different brigades. And they always have a smaller number in the work simulation, smaller number of staff. They have all the equipment, they have less ammunition, and they win competition after competition. And they say that the reason for our consistent success is the way we use after action review. It's the way they use, because everybody uses after action review in the army, but the way we use it. So this is the reason. And then I will not talk about it for the sake of time, how they use it, but I really encourage you to search for after action review, Harvard Business Review, and you can get a lot of learnings on how to do retro differently. Cool. Let's say we have clarity. We have enabled at least some psychological safety, so some people are okay to take the responsibility, then somehow to motivate them. Yeah, quite often the suggestion I got from my high rank officers, carrot and stick, you punish the bad guys, you reward the good ones. Yeah, I said, okay, probably I don't believe in this one. Let's look at another motivation option. Yes, and this is about intrinsic motivation that has been described by Daniel Pink in his book Drive, where he says that we are much better motivated intrinsically than extrinsically, and you need for these three things: purpose, yeah, and for us purpose was clear, it's survival of our country. Then it's autonomy, that we decide how to do the task. The order we cannot argue, yeah, we can ask why, etc. But how to do, we would like to have autonomy. And then the mastery is that I can actually grow and I can use my competence. Yes, and the mastery was a big problem for us because out of 150 people, only 2 were professional military guys. So, and it means that people were really frustrated. They wanted to contribute, and this is another part of purpose contribution, but they don't have skills. And it means that the purpose then will be lagging behind. So, and the war in Ukraine started in 2014. Yes, its full-scale invasion started in 2022. And it means that we have a lot of veterans in Ukraine. And I started to look at these veterans, and I found few, and then I asked municipality, can we get some building? They gave us a bond-unit hospital. And so every Saturday we started to have different trainings where veterans came and trained people from my company. Over time, then we started to have people from our battalion and then from entire brigade. And then over time we started to focus on train the trainer, because it was not easy logistically to get the people. So we started to have a deep training for surgeons that then can train in the unit. And there was a lot of skepticism. The first training, what I did is watching YouTube video. It was 15 minutes YouTube video, how to take the rifle in the right hand and what to do. Yeah, and then I go after this YouTube video and train the people. Yeah, and I had a lot of skepticism, but over the time we actually built a very nice curriculum. So this is a curriculum we had like in 3 months afterwards. It's in Ukrainian, but every statement can be like from 2 hours to half a day training, maybe a day. Yeah, so Jack feels drop by drop. We had a cadence for trainings because people don't want usually to train. They are tired, they don't touch me, I want to sleep. But this is important for their survival. So we had a cadence for training, I was strict there. We also focused on physical activities because, yeah, it's important. We rent barns and put some equipment that we bought. And all of this helped me to start empowering on different levels. And for this, I used delegation metrics from Management 3.0. Yes, that you can delegate on several levels. The left one, tell, is you just say what to do. And the right one is you fully delegate and even don't care about the result. But it depends on the level of competence of the people you delegate, depends on their motivation, depends on their also on your willingness to delegate the accountability. So I'm still accountable, yes, but you make responsible someone else. And yeah, then you list some tasks. I listed some of them, and then yeah, you see what you can delegate. For example, decision on sanctions, you can see was still on me, because people leaders, they were super close to their soldiers and sergeants, which is nice. So they didn't want sometimes to take sanctions. So I had this pleasure of putting sanctions. Sometimes you need to do sanctions when things were did on purpose, bad things were did on purpose. But such things like create vacation schedule was fully delegated to soldiers even. And this had a really nice behavior result where they started to talk to each other and negotiate because everybody wanted to have a special day of vacation on birthday of their daughter, son, or wife is coming from Poland, yes. So yeah, so it helped to delegate and empower more people. And I started to have more time for actually what I love. I love to run. And yeah, I started to run when I was in the army. The only difference, I had to do it in bulletproof waist. And also one of my dreams came true. I always wanted a motorbike. And my wife said, you will never have one. It's too dangerous. Okay. And then there was a not good day, and I called her. It's so bad. Yeah, you know, I saw this advertisement of the motor. Do you think in the village? Do you think I can buy it? Okay, you can buy it. What worse can happen? You're already in the army, in the war. So I bought a motorbike. Yeah, one of my dreams came true. And I also love to do unexpected trainings for my units. And I started to do it on my motorbike. And I noticed they became better. Nobody's in the phones, everybody's on the positions, and interesting, guys, what are happening? And then one soldier was, you know, when you go by your motorbike, we can hear like 5 minutes before you come, because it's so loud. And I said, oh, okay. So in November 2022, I quit. I actually could quit. There is a law with around 10 clauses that you can use, and one of them I could use, which is related to my father, who is ex-military. So it's me heading back to Kiev from the army. And I went to the apartment, how we left it in Kiev, how we left it on the morning of 24th. So you see in the calendar still February 23rd. I could see this poster of New Year resolution of 2022. And be careful with what you wish, because my kids wanted to learn new language. So this is what they got. They learned 2 more languages, English and Danish. My wife wanted to live in another country. Yes. And I wanted to have a sabbatical from my work. So we all got what we wanted, so be careful or be precise what you wish. Yeah, so in December 2022, I was back to my family. So this is my family. And now I'm supporting my comrades with different high-tech equipment that they cannot get from the government. Unfortunately, it's impossible to get everything, so they need a lot of stuff. And also we translated after action review to Ukrainian, we adapted it to Ukrainian reality, and we collect money, we print it out, and we distribute among different units. I would like again to дякую Polska for what you did. I know there are sometimes different messages. Oh, there was some, I don't know, accident and blah, blah, blah. But it's always will be these small accidents. But the general picture is we know who our supporters, we know who our brothers, not this Eastern lovely neighbor, but you are. And unfortunately now you see that hybrid war is actually started already. It's reality. You are living in hybrid war reality. So whenever you take a flight, you don't know whether it will be okay flight or it will be some drone will be somewhere and you will not be able to take off. So it means that you need to continue support Ukraine to make sure that government support Ukraine, because Ukraine is now the one who stands and guard you, yeah, in order not to have a real war, but a hybrid war. So yes, thank you all. I'm just in time. And if you would like to be connected on LinkedIn, I will be glad. So this is a QR code. And thank you very much.
Thank you for the talk. Let's start from the questions, because we have a few of them. What is the model of the bike on the slide?
The model of the what?
Motorbike.
motorbike.
Which model?
Yeah, actually, it's a long story. It's made in USSR in Soviet Union time. I think it's 1989 when it has been produced. But actually, the origin of this motorbike from Nazi German. So Soviet Union took the plant factory from Germany and started to make motorbikes. Of course, it was a bit modified. So it's MT, I think. MT, if anyone knows what is it. Dmytro MT.
Okay, Dnipro MT.
Yes.
Sounds good. Did your comrades start to change their behavior being inspired by you?
Yeah, I believe so. Of course, not all of them, but many of them. So many of them who stayed, they were inspired to be proactive and go further, and many of them are now colonels, mayors, so very important leaders in different units. Also, I think what is the biggest change is that they understand that it can be different, that it is okay to ask why, it is okay to challenge the orders, it is okay to be empathetic to your soldiers and not treat them as we are carrot and stick. Yeah, so a lot of people that were in my company, they are now a very big officers in different units.
Okay. There are tests showing that the stick method works better in such life-threatening environments. Do you have any examples that proving or failing that?
That's carrot and stick is better than intrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
Of course, it depends on the situation. So, as I said, sometimes you need to apply sanction, and this is stick. Yes. So, if something was done on purpose and not the first time, then it's not about talking about your intrinsic motivation. Then you need to apply the stick. But I believe in most cases, actually, you need to try to find this intrinsic motivation of the people. Then it's easier. So to move them to the stage from life sucks or my life sucks to the stage I am great, I can do it. So I believe this approach is much more a long term better than a short term.
Okay, maybe one more. You implemented great techniques in your platoon. It is scalable?
Yeah, I think it's scalable. So you just need Scrum Masters, Agile Coaches, joining the army and propagate it. So you need someone who understands these values and why they're doing it and have seen this in the companies. And yeah, so I think it's scalable.
But do you believe it's scalable?
Okay.
It's simply possible to do it without so many Scrum Masters and so on in Yarmak.
It's not easy, of course, and this is especially in the post-Soviet Union army. Yeah. I believe it can be done, but it's not easy, of course. Yeah.
We have much more questions, but we need to finish up. I invite you to talk with Dmytro after during lunch, during breaks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lukasz. Yeah, and thank you all.